Hello and welcome back to the Film Room. I'm Adila, your favorite host, and today we'll be discussing about the most haunting short story in American literature, which is A Rose for Emily by William Faulkner. Joining me today, the crew and the casters of A Rose for Emily. So they will help us explore the plot theme, characters, atmosphere, tone, and mood, and also the personal reflection. So before we begin, let's introduce yourself.
I am Linden Chabak, the director.
I am William Faulkner. I am the author.
Hi, I am Sophia. I played as Emily.
Hi, I'm Afifa, plays as Grayson.
And hi, I am Ikmal, playing as Homer.
Alright, to start our discussion, let's talk about the central character of the story. Okay, Safia, you play as Emily Grayson. So, how was Emily isolation represented in the short story?
Okay, so in the short story, Emily's isolation comes from her past and the way she was raised by her father. Her father controlled her life and drove away any man who showed interest to her. So this means that Emily is not allowed to have any lover. So because of this, she grew up alone and never learned how to form normal relationships.
I thought perhaps Miss Emily would. There's a dance next Saturday.
She won't attend any dances.
Okay, so based on the video that you guys have seen just now, when her father died, Mr. Grayson, she was left completely alone and refused to accept his death. And she held tightly to the people she loved because she was afraid of being abandoned. And also, Emily, she rarely went outside and spent most of her time inside the house with her servant, Toby, as her only companion. And she was completely in pain and grief.
Oh, okay. That is one interesting backstory. Okay, so how would you say the film expresses this isolation through acting rather than narration?
So in the film, her isolation is shown through her actions rather than words. Emily speaks very little and avoids eye contact, which shows how uncomfortable and distant she feels around others. Also, the house that she lives in reflects her isolation. The house is dark, dusty, quiet, and dimly lit. And even with Toby, her only companion, their interactions are very brief and silent. And I could say that through her behavior and surroundings, I'm sure that audience can clearly feel her loneliness.
Oh, okay. So that gives us a clearer understanding of Emily's isolation and emotional state. Okay, to explore where this all began, I like to turn to Emily's father, which is Afifa. Your role in the film is Emily's father, right? Okay. So, how do social expectation and tradition influence Emily's life?
Okay, so I have been done as a father to Emily. Basically, for the social expectation or maybe traditional tradition for the Emily strongly, we can say that it's already influenced by the Emily's life. Who as a father, I want to protect Emily's life, to shape the way how she can go through with her life in future. So I need to limit her freedom and basically to know who she could marry, who she could be living for. Okay, so yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. Poor Emily. That's really show how tradition and control play a major role in shaping Emily's life. Okay, so now I want to ask the director. So, you claim that your story is told using a non-linear narrative structure. Okay, so I want to ask, why did you choose to tell the story this way, and what challenges did you face adapting in an eternal psychological story into a film?
Okay, talking about challenges, there were many challenges, if I'm being honest. But the main challenge was to show Emily's thoughts without using narration. Okay, so we had to rely on visuals, acting, and silence to communicate her emotion to the audience. Okay, like we need to, because we want to show her emotion, her raw emotion to the audience. So it's quite hard to do it without a narration. Okay, so and why I chose to tell this story using a non-linear structure is because I want to keep the audience engaged until the end without them feeling boring or uninterested. Yeah.
Okay, that's really makes sense because since silence and visuals play such an important role in creating tension and mysteries in the film. Okay, so now let's ask the novelist himself. What central themes were you exploring through Emily Creason?
Okay, well, when I was writing Emily Grayson, I wanted to use her to explore the dangers of isolation and as well as the fear of it, specifically the fear of change. Every new year is always like new year, new me, right? But there are a few people who are afraid of the future because they don't know what's going to happen in the future because there's a possibility of something changing. Yeah, there is no guarantee if something's going to change or something's going to be staying the same. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I need to say.
Okay, I agree with you, Mr. Faulkner. That's explained a lot why Emily can move forwards, right? Okay. So Ikmal, you play as Homer, right? Okay, so your character has a limited presence in the short story. So how does the film treat your role in the film? Okay.
Alright, Azila. So basically, in the short story, I don't really exist as a full character, but you mostly hear about me through the town gossip. But in the film, I'm more present, and you actually see me interact with Emily, which make my character feel more real and helps explain why she was drawn to me.
Yeah, that's definitely makes the relationship for Maria to the audience. Okay, building on that, let's turn back to our novelist for our next question. Okay, ambiguity plays a big role in the roles for Emily. Yeah, this one. So, how do you think this sense of uncertainty shapes the reader's understanding of the story?
Well, Azzy, to answer your question, leaving things unclear, it makes the story more mysterious. It encourages the reader to think more deeply, especially about Emily and her actions.
Yes, as we all know, people can see Emily's personality much clearer in the film, and at times she feels sympathetic because we see her loneliness and upbringing through her actions. But her actions towards Homer are also shown very directly, which makes the watchers, the people, the audience disturbing. And in the end, we all can feel her loneliness.
It's the reason behind her
Is the
being.
reason behind all the behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. In the film, our relationship is shown much more clearly. And you can see that our relationship wasn't equal. Emily depended on me emotionally, while I was hesitant to fully commit to her. In the short story, this is only hinted at. But in the film, it's clearly through my action and also my body language. At the same time, the film doesn't show what I'm really thinking, and the audience still doesn't fully know whether I truly love Emily or was just enjoying her company. That uncertainty keeps the relationship tragic and also mysterious.
So, okay, all of these show how uncertainty, loneliness, and relationship come together to make the story tragic. Okay, I think the director might want to tell us which part of the short story required changes or visual emphasis. Okay, so also, how did the lighting, setting, and placing help to create the atmosphere?
Okay, we had to visually highlight moments that were only hinted in the short story, especially Emily's isolation and her relationship with Homer.
Oh, okay. So, what about the atmosphere?
Okay, for the atmosphere, this is one of the most crucial part to make the story live. Okay, so we use dim lighting, quiet settings, and also slow pacing to create an uneasy atmosphere and to reflect Emily's emotional state, because in the story she is very miserable, right? So the atmosphere actually help emphasize how she is feeling at the time.
Alright, okay. I love your choice of the lighting. It's really made the atmosphere pop up. Okay, so Mr. Novelist, how does ambiguity shape the reader's understanding of the story?
Well, excuse me. Ambiguity, it encourages readers to pause and reflect. By not giving a clear answer, it allows readers to think for themselves and about Emily and her actions. It makes the story feel a lot more personal to them, and it stays with them after a long time, even though it already has ended.
Yeah, I agree with that. The film makes Emily feel more understandable, but such disturbing, and you can see her loneliness through her actions. But also, her actions makes the experience more comfortable for the audience, just like what she did to Homer Baron.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That balance between sympathy and discomfort really captures the complexity of Emily's character. Okay, so alright, I want to ask Homer the last question for you only. Okay, how do you think the story will change if told from your perspective?
Alright, if the story were told from my perspective, then it will feel more tragic than mysterious actually. The audience will see my confusion and also my fear as I slowly realize how unstable the situation is. The ending wouldn't be a sudden shock, but something you can see coming, showing the danger of misunderstanding, love, and also ignoring warning signs.
Wow, that perspective really shifts the story from mystery to something much more tragic. I love that. Okay, I really love that. Okay, so for our last question, which is our Afifa, Mr. Granson, right? Mr. Granson. Okay. Okay, I want to ask, which medium do you think better show the town's role in Emily isolation, the short story or the film?
Okay, so Azila, I think as for me, the short story, of course, shows the town's role more clearly. The town is always watching, like judging and talking about Emily, which slowly pushes Emily, so slowly push her as a further into isolation mode. Not only that, people in the town, their presence feels constant, make Emily when they are not physically there in the town. So that's all, for me, I think.
Okay, so that's all for our today's discussion. Thank you everyone for your insight story. Okay, so that's all. Goodbye.
Don't forget to watch Rose for Emily.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Film Room.
Don't forget to read the novel too. Bye bye.